Thank you for joining me today on this great day. I hope you're having also a wonderful day. We are here again with New Minds Enrichment and New Minds TV, just with another show of Mr. Walter around the world in this great episode. And some of the great episodes that we've done have always showcased animals, and this one is no different. The quiz Animals of the World. Test your knowledge about creatures large and small that share our planet. So I haven't taken the quiz, but I think it's going to be a lots of fun. So remember that we also, as we celebrate Earth Day, we're going to coming up with our 24-hour cardboard challenge. And this 24-hour cardboard challenge is going to kind of help us along. And I want to see, so save your cardboard, and you'll have a chance to share your cardboard creations with the New Minds team as we go all around the world creating all these cardboard projects, and then showing them not only through Facebook but through the different options that we have. And I'm going to showcase some of them as well on my channel. So make sure that you send me and you send all of us your creations around the world, and they'll just make a great montage. So if you like buildings, if you like places, cultures, colors, everything that you can do is up for grabs on our Earth Day 24-hour challenge. So today we're going to have a quiz of animals around the world with Mr. Walter around the world. So it's going to be, also a fun place. So let me take some of the images out and let's start. I haven't taken the quiz, so let's see how I do. So the first one, as we see our great world here, and before we fly in where we are, let's see where we start. We always start right here in Dallas, Texas, and we have just a great place here in North America. So here's the United States. Then we have Florida, as you can see. Here's California. Then we have Mexico and all the Central American countries. Here's the Caribbean. There's Cuba and Haiti and Puerto Rico. All those are right there. Then we have Colombia in this area. Here's the Panama Canal. There's the Galapagos Islands, and then we have the full South America. We have the biggest country, Brazil. Then we have Argentina. Then we have Chile, Peru. So we have all sorts of great places throughout. But today we're actually going to go to the African continent, and we're going to start looking at some of the great animals, which are these African elephants. With the first question that we have, which is, how much does an African elephant weigh when it's born? So a baby elephant, how much does it weigh? I think we're going to be surprised. Is it 75 pounds? Is it 200 pounds? Or is it 1,000 pounds? So as soon as it's born, so we have a huge range. We have 75 pounds at one end, and then we have 1,000 pounds on the other. I couldn't think that a baby elephant weighed 1,000 pounds as soon as it's born. But 200 pounds, it sounds also kind of low. And 75 pounds, I'm not sure. I don't think that's it. But maybe when it's born, 200 pounds. Maybe 1,000 pounds. It just sounds just massive. But so I'm going to go with my gut. I think 200 pounds sounds about right. As soon as a baby elephant is born here in Africa. That's right. See? So I know that elephants can get up to weighing just thousands of pounds, but an African elephant, just like that we see right here in the picture, is the largest land animals on the planet. So they weigh an average of 200 pounds at birth and stand nearly 3 feet tall. So a baby elephant, it will go about chest high, and it will weigh 200 pounds the day it's born. So incredible. So that's almost like the full weight of just an adult male, 200 pounds, 250 pounds, and that's the day they were born. So we're taking a quick look at some of the elephants here in Africa, and you can see how they're just moving out from this safari. just a beautiful place, and you can see the size of the animals and the size of the of not only how high. So if this is 3 feet right here, that's 6 feet, and that's probably all the way up to 9 feet. So it's probably this up to the ceiling in terms of the size of these animals. So what a great picture and great question. Which is how much does an African elephant weighs when it's born? So, right, so let's kind of move out. We are actually looking all the way from here in Africa, and we're going to see where we take off next. So there's Africa right here, and as we come, there's Madagascar, and we'll see what the next question is. We got the first one right. Here we go, the second question. The second question comes all the way up from Canada and very close to the Arctic Circle. What kind of dog is the most popular choice for a sled dog? So this should be pretty easy. So what kind of dog is the most popular choice for a sled dog? So is it the Alaskan Husky? Is it the Siberian Husky? Or is it the Saint Bernard? And actually you can take a look at the picture, and we'll take a quick look. There we go. So, as we take a picture and we see what is the most popular dog that is used for pulling sleds. So, as we take a quick look at this one, so I know that that's a Husky, and everybody, I think, we're pretty much sure that that's a Husky. So we know that a Saint Bernard is probably not the most popular choice. But is it the Alaskan Husky or the Siberian Husky? So I'm not sure, but I think and we're in this area, and I think the breed probably be the Alaskan Husky. So I might be wrong, because the Siberian Husky, and when I hear Siberia, it sounds like a lot colder and further up. So, but I'm going to go with my gut. I think it's the Alaskan Husky. As we go, and we are correct. So, while not an officially recognized breed, the Alaskan Husky has been bred specifically to be a sled dog. So, as you can see, all of them in a pack, and you see the sled right here, and then you see the main line and the lead dogs, all three of them, and one of them, and the one in the middle is the lead dog. And from then on, you see all the rest of the support dogs. And as you notice, they have harness on. So, they're a breed, and this is what they do. This is their job. They kind of just are bred to be pulling sleds as a means of transportation through Alaska. So, beautiful place as we take a quick look of all the areas and all the great places here in Alaska. So, right, we got 2 for 2 so far. And as we move along, and we're actually going to keep on looking at some of these great pictures from today's episode, which is a quiz of animals around the world. So we decided from one of the largest animals, which is the elephant in Africa, and we've gone all the way across to see the Alaskan Husky, which is one of the most popular breed of dogs that is used for pulling sleds. So let's go to the next question and take a look. So this one's all penguins. So as we fly right back out, what do you call a group of penguins when they are gathered on land? So it's a fun question. What do you call a group of penguins when they're all gathered on land? So as we move and take a look of where we're going to head in the world, right at the bottom, we see that here's just at the edge of Chile and South America, to the South Pole. So we're going to ask, what do you call a group of penguins when they're gathered on land? Is it a party? is it a raft or is it a waddle? Now, I'm tempted to say a waddle because of the way that they walk, and maybe as when they're grouped together, they have that same movement back and forth. A party also sounds pretty good, which is, getting a group, and I know that it's also a group of people. It's also called a party as well. Not sure what a raft, so not quite leaning towards it. So I have party and then have waddle. So I'm going to go for waddle since that's a word which I've never kind of associated with penguins, but you can definitely see how that would be and how they can move back and forth. And having a group of them just move back and forth might seem that they have a waddle. So let's try to figure out and see if that's the case. So then the answer, a waddle, yes. See, these questions are a bit tricky, but as we kind of fly into the South Pole, we're going to take a quick look again at some of the penguins, and you see that they're already, some of them out right here on the rocky face, as well as, all the snow-covered areas. Let's see if we can take a look at other penguins. I think there's some right there, and some right there as well. So they're actually grouped together right here on the South Pole. And yeah, as they walk together, some of them sunbathe, others just kind of walk back and forth. But the question that we had today was how, when a group of penguins are out for a swim, they're called a raft. So actually, the raft is another word for a group of penguins that are out in a swim. But when they are on land, they're called a waddle. So, good job. Let's see if we can get closer to that penguin that's over there. As it starts moving back and forth. You can see how the grooves they get together. All right. So there's as we're gonna walk along, there it is. There's a full group of penguins that are on land called a waddle. Good job. So let's move, and we are all the way down the South Pole as we're going to move right back out from where we are and see where in the world will the next question about animals come from. So as you can see, our great big world, where's the next question coming from? All right, so the next question is coming from the Middle East. It's actually coming from Egypt, which is, which species of camels has only one hump? So typically we know, and we see in a lot of cartoons, that they have a double hump, but there is a species of camels that only have one. So that's kind of interesting. You can see a great picture just looking straight at the camera, right? So definitely that I think should be the signature picture of staying at home. Having a great time, all frazzled and with longer hair, obviously. So as we take a look at the camels here in Egypt, which species of camel has only one hump? So is it the Arabian camel? Is it the Mongolian camel? Or is it the wild Bactrian camel? So, interesting question. I'm not familiar with camels at all, and I couldn't tell you which one from the Arabian to the Mongolian camel. So I'm going to have to guess. It's a full guess. But looking at the picture, it looks kind of frazzled and wild. So I'm going to go just with that hunch, the wild Bactrian camel, just trying to figure out that maybe it has one hump. So let's see. Wrong. I figured. So it is actually the Arabian camel. So the Arabian camel, as we can see right in front, the Arabian camel, also called the dromedary, has a single hump and has been domesticated for the use of pack animal. So it's been domesticated, and we see the full view as we're taking. This one looks a little bit better and better groomed than the picture showing, but you definitely see that they've been domesticated, and now it has just one big hump, and under that big hump is where we get a chance to see some of the rest of the mounds, as well as some of the other decorations. So you can see actually how they kind of lie down and rest as they fold their feet, or they fold it right underneath each other, just underneath the whole body, with a double joint, a joint up and a joint down. So here we go, and that's another perfect picture of a camel as we keep on taking and looking at some of the great questions about animals around the world. So this is it, the Arabian camel, which is the camel that has the first, it only has one hump compared to all the other camels. Alright, so we got that wrong, but it was to be expected. We're still, 3 out of 4, which is not bad. Let's keep on moving and see where in the world the next question is going to come from. So there we go, and we're actually taking the questions from Egypt. And as the world starts to turn, let's try to figure out where the next question is going to come. So this is probably an Asia, right, on Russia, Mongolia, as the world turns around. Here are 3 different places of where this question from animal can come from. In which country can you find macaques, which are snow monkeys, relaxing in natural hot springs? So, in which country can we find the macaques, which is the snow monkeys, which are relaxing in natural or within natural hot springs? So, monkeys, very smart, they find these hot springs and they go in, and that's where they relax, just like a big bathtub. So, where can we find these monkeys? Is it Russia, Mongolia, or is it Japan? So all 3 are just great areas, and there could be an answer. So here we go. The first one is Russia, which is right here, right on top. We have Mongolia, which is right above China, and then we have Japan right off the coast of North and South Korea. So we have all those 3. Where do you think? So every time that I see a monkey, like a snow monkey, just like that, I do remember how they kind of sit and just relax and lounge in these hot springs, and also they start picking from their fur. And I've seen that this is, obviously a really cold place. So I'm leaning towards Russia and Mongolia. So let me kind of take a wild guess, and I think, it's probably going to be Mongolia. Oh no, it's actually in Japan. So the Japanese snow monkeys live farther north than any primate species, and you can actually see them, on just within the hot spring. When the temperatures are dip down below freezing, they go to the hot springs of the national parks to warm up. So a great picture of all the monkeys sitting in this natural bathtub and kind of just relaxing as the temperature starts to drop. And look at the little tiny baby monkey right there. Also, and this is what I was also telling you, right, that they start picking from their fur and just kind of relaxing. And there's another great picture right there, a little more menacing and not as happy as the rest of them, but we can definitely see all the snow-covered areas and also the hot springs as the monkeys are just there and relaxing. And look how close you can actually get. I'm sure that no monkey's going to come out and from their hot spring just to bother the rest of the tourists, but I think that this is a great picture from Photosphere on how the snow monkeys are there and just relaxing from as soon as the temperature here in Japan. I thought it was Mongolia, but it's actually Japan. So let's have three wrong, three right, two wrong, and let's kind of move right back. And here's Japan as we kind of move out in the world. And here's North and South Korea. Here's Mongolia. Right there is Russia. So we've been in this great area of the world. So let's see where the next question comes from. And before I move on, I just want to remind everybody that we're coming up. We're going to be having our cardboard challenge. So we're going to be doing all sorts of projects to save your cardboard, and you have a chance to share your cardboard creations with us. And then we're going to showcase them as we're going to have a 24-hour around the world cardboard challenge for Earth Day that's coming up next week. So let's move along to the next question. And where in the world is this question going to come from? All right, so the next question is coming from, there's several places around the world that this is coming from, but I think it's coming from the Galapagos Island, which is, which slow-moving creature goes on a yearly migration along the rim of a crater? Oh, very interesting. So, it's a slow-moving creature, we know that, so that gives us a hint. But which creature goes through a yearly migration around the rim of this big crater? So imagine that, a creature every year gets up, it's a slow-moving creature, but it goes and starts to do a migration around a crater's ring. So, very interesting as well. Is it the giant African land snail? So can you imagine that? A little tiny snail just moving very slowly and going in a yearly migration around the rim of the crater? Is it the giant tortoise that we have seen as well as it starts moving back and forth? Or is it the three-toed sloth? So we got three very slow-moving creatures, very slow-moving animals that do a migration around the rim of this crater. And I think it's right here in the Galapagos Island. So since it's an island, there's not very much space where they can go, so they go around. So which one? I'm completely stumped, not sure which one, and could be this could be the animal that does this slow-moving yearly migration around this rim of a crater. So I'm just going to say that I'm just going to throw one out there. I think it's going to be the African land snail. Well, before I do that, it is a giant African land snail, so we're not in Africa, so maybe that's not it. So let me maybe is it the three-toed sloth? Well, if you think about sloth, they need lots of vegetation. They need trees. They eat bamboo leaves and so forth. So not sure here in this island, the Galapagos is probably one. It's much more tropical. So I think giant tortoise. Yes, I would have been wrong, but as we fly down to the Galapagos Island, and we'll there it is, just a quick look at the giant tortoise, and you can see kind of like the path and the groove as it starts its yearly migration, and there's the path around the rim of this great crater. So giant tortoises in the Galapagos Islands follow a kind of super highway, as you can see right here, along the rim of the Alcedo volcano. The well-known migratory path was likely been in use for thousands of years. So thousands of years, the giant tortoises in the Galapagos go on a yearly migration around the Alcedo volcano. which is right here. See the Epsiode volcano, and they go around that rim, and you can actually, I think you can see the path right there as they kind of go all around. So really interesting, how there's another one, and this one, like it says, just a giant kind of a super highway as they go around the forward. Why do they do that? Why do they have to do? Maybe it's just a way of meeting and other tourists as they go along. Maybe, but they have this migration. They kind of go around and change their environment. And since it's such a limited area, they do this around the Epsiode volcano. Very interesting question. So let's move away from the Galapagos and head right back and see where our question is coming from. Where's the next question coming from the world? So let's see what the next question is. So, all right. So we're actually going into the Atlantic Ocean, very close to the coast of Brazil, right here. And the question is, why do scientists think spinner dolphins jump out of the water? Interesting question. Why do, spinner dolphins jump out of the water? They're not hunting, they're not moving around. Why do they have that need of just jumping? And it's not really breathing, right? Because as they come up to the water and come right back down, they just, breathe and exhale as well. But why do they have the need to jump out? So do scientists think it's because they do this so they communicate with their pod? That means, kind of jumping and making everybody aware of where they are? Is it to feed on insects? That doesn't sound quite right. And to check on predators? That could be it, right? Does it as they jump out of the water, they take a quick look just to see, just like a periscope, and see if there are any water or any predators on top of the water? That could be, but it sounds. Why would they jump on a constant basis? Not sure. But let's take a look at the spinner dolphin, and just this great, very slick, dynamic dolphin as it just kind of swims through the water. Again, if you see the back fin, it moves back up and down, so it gives it great speed. You actually see the fins that are closer together, so it's just built for speed, and you can definitely see how this would just go in and jump right out of the water. So let's see why. Why do they do that? So I think that definitely one of the questions, or one of the answers could be, is because they check for predators. So let's see. No. So the reason why the spinner dolphin leaps out of the water is to communicate with their pod and to remove parasites called remora that cling to their skin. So interesting. So as they jump, they're not only communicating and landing where they are, right? And just keeping in touch and seeing each other as they jump back and forth. But other reason is to remove parasites that have been clung to the skin as they just flip right up and have all that traction. Just kind of take all these creatures and all these parasites from their skin. So interesting. Very interesting, as we're taking right here, right at the edge of Brazil, and we're looking at reasons why the spinner dolphin jumps out and comes back right into the water. So close, but no cigar so far. So let's kind of move again, and let's have two more questions, and then we can see where the next question is coming from the world. So great little picture of a monkey, a chimpanzee, they are the most closely related to which primate? So, as we take a quick look at this chimpanzee, and the question is, this chimpanzee is the closest, has a closest relation to which other primate? So it's another interesting question. So they're most closely related to gorillas, baboons, or humans? And I think this is another one of those questions that is kind of tricky. I know that it'd be great to say gorillas or baboons, but I think this one, it gives a little teaching moment, which is I think chimpanzees are most closely related to other primates like us, like humans. I would definitely think so. So let's kind of take a quick look, and that is correct. So chimpanzees and humans are very closely related. Their two species share 98% of our DNA. So our DNA, as you can see, as we take a look at their habitat and kind of look around, chimpanzees are, you can see a picture, very closely related to us humans. So an interesting fact, we share 98% of the DNA. Just 2% of DNA makes us different, but we are the most closely related species between both, chimpanzees. And I think we're in Africa, right? Actually in the wilds of Africa, as we take a look of, there we go, chimpanzees kind of looking across at us just the same way. So let's kind of move along. This is our final question, and this question comes all the way from Africa as well, which is how many different types of species of zebras are there? So when we think of zebras, we'll probably think of just one type of species, or maybe thought that maybe zebra was just a single species, but there's many different types. So how many? Do you think there's only one species of zebra or up to 15 different ones? So as a species, I couldn't think of just having one or just having a few. I think we would have to have lots of them, right? As different kind of species of zebras. On the other hand, you can think, all right, maybe there are different types of zebras, but maybe different species. Not quite sure. So I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to say that 3 different species of zebras that could be. And as we take a quick look here in Africa, we'll take just a beautiful picture of a zebra and all its stripes, as you can see. And the stripes actually provide this kind of optical illusion within the savanna that makes predators not really know what that is. And it's some sort of a style of camouflage and deterrent for predators. So let's see, as we take a quick look at the zebra, how many different species are there? I think there are 3, and would be correct. There are just 3 species of zebras, and they can be identified by their pattern on their stripes, amongst other things. So the Gravy's zebra, shown here, is the only one of the 3 that is endangered. So we have only 3 species, and imagine that one of them is already endangered. So as you can see, different styles and different types. So this one in particular, the Gravy's zebra, has a much more white coloring with stripes a little bit thinner, as we saw the other zebra species that has thicker stripes and even a darker. So we can definitely contrast and see the differences between them too. So only 3 different styles or different species of zebras. So when you see one, just remember there's only 3 different species, and one of them is already endangered. That's why it's important for us to understand and be aware of all species around the world. So let's go to the score. And my score, I'm a toucan. So, well played. Judging from your score, the quiz was a breeze for you. Is 6 out of 9. Okay, a toucan is not bad. And we definitely see toucans all over the place. And one of the places that we do see toucans is right down in Costa Rica in Central America. So just going to put that up. So thank you again for playing and enjoying. We're going to have a few more announcements as we kind of move forward on this great day. I hope you enjoyed quizzes of animals around the world here with Mr. Walter. Hi everyone, I hope that you're having a great day. I just want to remind everyone that we are starting our Masters of the Dungeonverse online Star Wars role-playing games. We're going to be starting playing here in through the New Minds and through Masters of the Dungeonverse, and we'll have our regular sessions that we typically have with games, and we're going to be having them online. So this is going to be happening every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and you can see the schedule right there. We'll have Tuesday mornings, kids from 8 to 11 years old during the afternoon, as well as 12 to 6. So we'll be able to have a couple of sessions, and we're going to be playing this game, The Edge of the Empire, which is the Fantasy Flight's role-playing game. I'm a very big Star Wars fan, and I know Mr. Adam in Masters of the Dungeonverse also is like a lot of is a big fan of Star Wars. We're going to be using the rules right there for Star Wars Edge of the Empire, for Age of Rebellion, and also Force and Destiny. So we have lots of adventures that we can play. We're going to be playing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So keep posted as you start looking, and we will make some additional announcements through New Minds channel and New Minds Facebook, so you can log in, sign up, and we'll be playing during this afternoon. So what a great and better way to just kind of enjoy and have a lot of fun. We're going to be posting some videos in terms of how to play, how to roll the dice, and hopefully soon we'll actually give you a live session of how these things actually happen. So if you're new to role-playing games, don't worry. We will teach you all the rules. We'll give you the supplies, we'll give you the story and all the materials, so you can start getting a quick start of this great hobby, which is playing online and playing with your friends also, which is the Star Wars role-playing game, and soon we'll add some additional role-playing games. So make sure you check out Mr. Adams with Into the Dungeonverse, as he has daily adventures of all sorts of great stuff and great videos, and how all the places around this magical universe that he has been creating. And you can join me for the Star Wars role-playing game Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, as we'll kind of move forward in having a totally online experience and making sure that a band of heroes escape the Empire right at the edge. So if you like The Mandalorian and you have those, well, all those things kind of come together on the Edge of the Empire game. So I hope to see you, and have a great day. All right, so that is it for our show today. I am Mr. Walter, and thank you for joining us with New Minds TV at Mr. Walter Around the World, and we have gone to several great places around a great world today. So thank you so much for joining. Make sure you stay tuned for two things. Number one, Earth Day is coming up next week, and we are going to have a 24-hour cardboard challenge. So we'll start through all our inspirators around the world, and you can join in. So save your cardboard, make sure that you have all that ready available, and we want to see some of these great creations as we are nearing the Earth Day, which is coming up next week. So we will be having this 24-hour cardboard challenge. So I want you to get some cardboard, get it ready, start building some other things, and make sure that you show us what you have made over the next couple of weeks. And during the 24-hour cardboard challenge, I already have some things that I've made. So we have made some pyramids of Giza, and we have made some other things, which is going to be lots of fun that we have done. And also stay tuned. We have right here, or actually right there, we have have coming up the STEAM train with Mr. Dorian. Just great fun, live STEAM training, live STEAM learning and games. As well, we have from the New Me Vault. So this is Mr. Ben, who's coming in, one of the creators of New Minds Enrichment, and also will be coming in with classic puzzles and brain twisters, as well as live interactive. So there's a lot of fun. Then at 5 o'clock, we have Mr. Justin coming in with closing messages and announcements for parents. So he'll be coming in doing Monday through Friday announcements of what kind of things that we're doing. So this coming up, we're actually doing the 24-hour cardboard challenge, celebrating Earth Day as we come up with New Minds Enrichment and Real Inspired Learning here at New Minds TV. So thank you again for being with me. Thanks for tuning in to Real Inspired Learning for All. Remember to always pursue your passion until it becomes your talent. So this is Mr. Walter from another episode of Mr. Walter Around the World. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.